Welcome to this edition of the SAU Report. I'm Jennifer Stacy.
And I'm Kathleen Langston.
Today we have a Student Issues Forum, and our guests are Shawna Eckwood and Larnelle Sinegal. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. So Shawna, what made you decide on SAU as the place you really wanted to attend college?
Well, before my senior year, I had never heard of SAU, and I had a full-paid basketball scholarship here, and that's really what drew me to the school.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Shawna, do you think the registering process here at SAU goes fairly smoothly?
So far it has. My freshman year, when I did have a scholarship, they called me over the phone and registered me over the phone, so that was a lot easier. But my second year here, when I decided not to play basketball anymore, it was a little bit harder because I had to wait in the lines, and there were only a few, advisors to help everybody out, so it was a little bit harder not being an athlete.
I bet. Larnelle, what is it you like best about SAU? What do you think could be improved maybe or added to in the next few years to make this a much better campus, to make more people want to come here?
Well, the thing I like most about SAU is the people here. That's the one reason I stayed here. I had the chance to transfer my sophomore year, but because of the friends and the relationships that I built, I felt like if I left that, I'd be leaving something special. So the people, most importantly. As far as making the campus better, I believe they're going in the right direction now. They're trying to add things to the campus that uplift the appearance and overall bring, I believe, the appearance, of a campus, of a university. That's the first thing people see when they come here. So that's the first thing that'll attract them to SAU. So they're going in the right direction with it.
Shawna, what do you think about SAU expanding the campus and adding on?
I like the fact that they're adding on. I like the point of the university apartments. They're further back, but I didn't agree with the fact that they put the new Reynolds building right on the library and right on the dorms. I think if they might have spread it out just a little bit more, it would have been a little bit better. But I like the fact that they're expanding and building new things, and they need to work on the dorms next.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the expanding, which they are doing a good bit about that, and I think it makes it a whole lot better. I really do. I think it's going to be a whole lot better. But do you think SAU has enough resources, like computers in the computer lab, different things like that, to accommodate the number of students that they're expecting to have come, because they're expecting more to come now?
In the past, I can speak from experience that it has been problems with not enough computers. You can see they try to put more computers in the library, but it seems like the more computers they put in, the more people come in and take up computers. So I don't believe that you'll really ever have enough computers, because you can't have a computer for every student. That's just not possible. But I believe they can expand the computer labs, make more resources available to students computer-wise. And because I go in the library every day, and sometimes I just have to sit and wait 10, 15 minutes before I can get on the computer because they're full. You go to the computer lab's full. But like I say, just a few more computers, I believe it'll do the trick.
Larnelle, how do you think SAU could improve campus life, like activities on campus? They've tried to have activities and people don't usually show up. What do you think they could do to improve that?
Well, you hit the nail on the head with that when people don't show up. First of all, that's the biggest problem. If people would just get out their room and do something. People complain about it's not enough going on campus, it's not enough activities on campus. But when we do have something, nobody shows up, nobody wants to do anything. So first of all, if people would actually show up to the events they do have, maybe that'll give them the opportunity to bring more activities in, because they know, well, if we bring this in, we're going to have the participation for it. That's the first thing we need to do, is get up and get out and do something, instead of just sitting in the room all the time.
That's very true. That's very true. Shawna, I understand there's a new organization on campus and that you're involved in this. Could you tell us a little bit about it? When was it organized? Something about what y'all do, what your goals are with it. Is it an on-campus, is it with the Greeks or whatever, or how people could be involved in it or something?
Okay, well, the organization is APO, which stands for Alpha Phi Omega. It's a service fraternity, and it's very big at larger campuses, like throughout the state. Maybe I know there's a large fraternity at Henderson State and one at U of A. But last semester they introduced it to SAU, and not very many people went, and I really didn't know anything about it, and sometimes it's hard for me to get out and go to something I really don't know anything about. But a couple of my friends went to the first meeting this semester, and they got me involved. And so I went to the meeting, and basically what it is, it was founded in 1925 at Lafayette College. And it was a man's fraternity. It's a service fraternity. They do a lot of volunteer work and just things around campus. It's a nationwide fraternity. And basically, we try to get people to donate things to us so we can help out around the community, the campus, around the state. We try to go to orphanages and read to the kids. We do the Big Sister, Big Brother program. Right now, we're in the process of chartering our chapter, which is going to be the first chapter here at SAU. So the 20 of us that are chartering the chapter are going to be the founders at SAU. We have a convention this weekend in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And basically, it's just we do a lot of service projects. It's on campus. Anybody can come out. It's for men, women, all nationalities, any type of person. If you love to do service work or help out, it's the best thing for you.
Really? You said something about y'all take donations and things like that. Like me, I sell Avon. I donate to different organizations and all. And I'm sure there are other people that would like to donate. How could we get in touch? You know, if I decided I did want to donate something, y'all have a way that we could get in touch with you and you could let us know what it is exactly you need and how to go about it and things like that?
Well, yes. Our advisor, her name is Gisela Sutherland, and she's the lady that's in charge of the math lab, actually. You know, she's the one who does the test. And we have meetings every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And it's a lot of people on campus. Sometimes next semester you'll be able to see us in the t-shirts, APL t-shirts on Wednesdays or every other Wednesdays. And if you have any questions, you can just stop one of them and ask them, or you can go to the math lab and ask Ms. Gisela, or you can even propose to come to the meeting and, you know, talk to us about if you want to donate something, or if you have any questions, you can just come to the meetings.
So the meeting's open to
It's
just
open.
anybody?
Well, basically what you should just do is talk to Ms. Sutherland first, and then, you know, you can propose it to the meeting and the members of the meeting.
That sounds good.
Larnelle, you're involved in sports, correct?
Yes.
Tell us what it's like to juggle studies and sports. Do you find yourself struggling sometime to fit everything in, or, you know, is it pretty easy?
Being a student athlete, a lot of people think that it'll be a whole lot harder to juggle your work and classes, but I found throughout my college career that I did my best work during the season, as far as, because I mean, during the spring when you're not playing in the games and, you know, you have a whole bunch of time on your hands, well, I put this work to the side, I'll do it later, I have time to do it later. As far where you're in football season, well, I got to go to practice, so I need to get this work out the way. And I need to do this now, and because I'm not going to have time to do it later, we got to go to a game this weekend or something like that. And I believe that's where the coaches come in at. They did a good job making sure that all their athletes, we have something called study table, where you have to go 3 hours a week, sit in the coach's office, and you have to sit there and study for an hour for 3 days a week. And, you know, that gives you the opportunity to do the work you need, to put in time in the classroom, because that is the most important thing. And, you know, as far as juggling classes, I found it was a pretty much a easy balance. It wasn't that difficult for me. All it took was self-discipline and motivation. That's all you really need. If you really want to do it, you can.
So as a student athlete, do you think SAU puts too much emphasis on sports rather than academics, or do you think that SAU thinks academics is number one?
Academics, to me, at any school you go to, is always number one, for the simple fact, if you don't pass, you don't play. So you have to put in the work, or if not, you can't go out there on the field or on the basketball court or the track, whatever you do. SAU, I believe, does a good job trying to balance out, because in college is a whole lot different from high school, for the simple fact you might play games during the week, you might have to leave during the week going out of town. So, I mean, you can't just say, well, if they leave, they don't do the work, they fail, because, I mean, you playing sports and you're playing football, you're playing sports and you're going to class, so it has to be a balance with it. And I believe the teachers here at SAU, the faculty, they all understand, and they, from my experience, they all have done a good job dealing with both aspects of it. Well, I know you have to go, so we'll just make up the work when you get back. Things like that, they've done a good job in it.
I've heard rumors that SAU is trying to take away excused absences, mainly for the fact of athletes missing a lot of classes. How do you feel about that? Do you think they should take away our excused absences?
Excuse at if you're going on a game, you know, doing something sports wise related to whatever sport you play, yeah, the absence should be excused because I mean, athletics I know was the reason I came to school. So I was here because of football. If it wasn't for football, I wouldn't have came to SAU. And if I'm obligated to go to something with football, if I'm obligated to go to a game, I can't miss the game for, well, she go give me an unexcused absence for class. So I mean, if you're sports related, yeah, you should be excused from class.
I agree with that. You know, I've heard rumors that starting next semester, SAU is not going to allow students to take classes, say at another university while they're taking classes here. I don't know if y'all really heard about that or not. What do you think about that, Shawna? Do you think that's a good idea, or do you think it might be unfair, or do you have any thoughts on it?
I don't think it's a good idea because that falls into place of people taking classes in a classroom here at SAU and then taking online classes with SAU Tech. And I just think it'll be hard for people who commute and who have kids or who are just, you know, working full time and want to get a degree, because you just have so many different type of people here, and then you have so many towns around Magnolia, and they commute, and you know, it might be hard for somebody to come to school and only be able to take classes here and still, you know, make time for everything else. I don't think that's a good idea, really.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that, won't it? Because I'll be here.
Larnelle, what do you think SAU could do to bring in more students to try to make the campus grow student-wise?
Like I said, relating to your previous question, if they allow students who need classes from other schools while they're attending SAU, I believe that could help bring students here where I could go to SAU, but I can still take this class I need over here. As far as the buildings and everything they're building around campus, I believe that is doing a good job in bringing more enrollment to SAU. Just things like promoting sports, promoting fraternities, sororities on campus, promoting different organizations, trying to get the name out there. Recently, I seen the SAU commercial on TV, and it was a real nice commercial. I believe that does a good job in help promoting your school, because you really have to push your school. SAU, Magnolia, Arkansas. I didn't even hear about it. I didn't know what Magnolia, Arkansas was when I first got here. But just putting your name out there, making the campus, you know, you have to sell your campus, and I believe they're doing a good job of that now. And if they continue to do that, I believe the enrollment at SAU will continue to go up.
They have been doing a good bit.
Yeah, they've been doing a really good
people
job.
are really starting to talk about SAU and noticing the new apartments that are going up and things. What do y'all think about those new apartments? You missed the fact that you didn't get in on them?
That's the one thing I'm upset about right now. I'm glad they're making all these changes on campus, but I mean, I wish they could have done it before I got here, so I'd have had the chance to enjoy it. But I'm graduating now, but I'm glad other people who coming in have the opportunity to enjoy it.
Well, you will be graduating in a few weeks, which must be real nice. And what about, has SAU helped you prepare for getting out in the work world and all? Tell us a little bit about your major and some of your plans when you do get out of school.
Well, I'm a major in criminal justice, and my plans is, as of right now, hopefully to get into some type of law enforcement, because I want to eventually work federal job, work for the government, and I believe that law enforcement experience will come into play and help my chances of getting that government job. But SAU, they have done a good job in helping me, preparing me for the real world, especially my advisor, Mr. Jan Duke. The job that I have lined up now, he's one of the reasons that I'm in the position I am right now, because he told me about the job. He told me where to go, what I need to do, how do I need to prepare for it.
That's good.
So yeah, my advisor, he has done a real good job in helping me look for jobs after graduation, because I can't stay in college my whole life. You know? So he's done a real good job.
That's true. What about you, Shawna?
Well, I'm just a sophomore, so I don't have an advisor yet, but SAU is a good school for me because it's a smaller school, and you know you have less students in a classroom, and that professor can work with that one student, and I appreciate that so much. That's one thing for me. I hate to be in a big classroom, and that's another reason why I chose SAU. When I get out of school, I do want to do something with TV production, or you know, even the news or something like that. We'll just have to see how that goes. So.
Oh, that sounds good.
Larnelle, since you're graduating, do you have any special advice for learned experiences that you can pass on to, you know, people not graduating or new students coming to the campus? Do you have any advice to maybe help them out?
The one thing I can tell anybody from my experience is you have to enjoy it, because like I say, it goes faster than what you think. It seems like I just came to SAU, but it's been 4 years already, and time is up. I'm finna get out in that real world, and once it's gone, you can't, hey, I want to go back to school. I want to enjoy the things I missed out on. So while you're here, you got to take advantage of every resource, every opportunity you have. Experience everything you can in college, because it can be one of the greatest times of your life if you allow it to be. So, you know, don't get frustrated. Yeah, do your work, but have fun too. You have to get that college experience, because that'll stay with you the rest of your life.
That's true. Shawna, you said you're a sophomore. So what kind of advice would you have for people who maybe will be starting SAU in the fall? Do you have any advice on, you know, things? Are there places here or people you can talk to that would help? So many of the kids will be coming in that are fresh out of high school, maybe never been away from home or anything like that. Do you have any kind of advice that you could give them on things? How does SAU help the kids that are coming in?
Well, it was a little bit easier for me because I was an athlete, of course, and so I knew a couple of people on the basketball team, and my coach was there to help me, you know, try to find the people I need to talk to about the things I need. But if you're coming in as a person who's never been away from home, or as a person who really is not outgoing and outspoken like myself, it's going to be kind of hard, but you might just have to learn to get out and, you know, just try to do things on your own. The most I could tell him is, because I agree with Larnelle with the whole, you need to try to do everything that you can. And with SAU expanding its campus and getting new things, and more organizations are, you know, coming to SAU, it's going to be a little bit easier for people who want to be involved but don't know exactly what they want to do. And like I said, with APO, we're going to do that. Next semester, we're going to go out and talk to students. We're not going to wait for them to come in to the meeting and say, okay, well, I don't know you all, but I want to be involved. We're going to go out and talk to students, and even freshmen. We're going to try to recruit a lot of freshmen, because that'll be a good way for them to be involved and also learn more about the campus and do other things.
That will be good. That will be real good.
So, I know both of y'all live in the dorms, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel that could improve the dorm life? I've lived in the dorms. I only lived there for 1 semester, so I know how it is. But how do y'all think that they could improve the dorm situation?
The dorm situation, I stayed in the dorms 4 years, and you get used to it. You know, it's not the greatest of living spaces. It's not a mansion or 4-bedroom house or anything like that. But yeah, you get used to it. The apartments they're putting up now, the new dorms they're putting up, I believe that gives people the opportunity to live in better situations, better dorm life. As far as the dorms now, they tried to renovate, put some paint on the wall, put some carpet down, put some wood on the walls. But you know, it's the one down I have on staying in the dorms was the bathrooms. I don't like sharing. I believe that the bathroom should be your own private space. You know, I didn't like sharing the bathroom with a whole floor. But other than that, you know, the rooms, you get used to it. It's just something that you have to get used to or leave. That's all it boils down to.
I agree. That was my whole situation, the bathrooms. I'm claustrophobic for one. So the shower situation is kind of hard for me, but I learned to, you know, deal with it. It was a lot easier my freshman year because I knew the basketball players and we were all so close and we all traveled together. But now that I'm not playing basketball anymore and I'm sharing a bathroom with the whole floor, it's kind of hard. But as far as the rooms, you can have your own room. You know, they might not be nice like you want it, but you can buy things to decorate your room.
Right.
You can, you know, pay that extra money per semester to get your own room. So that's not really, you know, the big issue. The only thing with me is the bathrooms.
So you're talking about with the whole floor, how many people are we talking about on that floor?
It depends, because I know some of the wings in the dorms are bigger than others. On my wing, it may be 15 people sharing
how
one
my
bathroom
Yeah.
with 2 toilets and 4
4
showers, and
Oh my
one of the
goodness.
showers might not work. So
Oh.
if you walk in, want to take a shower and the shower's full, you have to wait, because you know that's like I say, that's the biggest problem, just sharing a bathroom. As far as the dorms, like Shawna said, you could buy stuff to decorate your room. You could make the room more homely if you want to. But the bathroom situation, that's my biggest problem with the dorm.
Do you think living on campus has helped you get more involved and make more friends throughout your college year? I mean, like for the people that commute or live off campus, do you think living in the dorms helps you, you know, make more friends and have more to do with the campus?
I do. I think it helped me out a lot. Sometimes it's hard to get involved with things if you're always off campus and don't know what's going on. And most of the time they put flyers up in the dorms, and they, you know, a lot of people are always in the dorms talking about things. And when you live on a floor full of girls like yourself or full of guys, it's easier to, you know, to meet people. You might be walking through the hall and you'll see somebody and you know that person lives on your floor, you know, and you can speak to them, and that makes you learn more about people. You learn a lot of respect, because you have to have respect for everybody else, you know, if you're going to live in a dorm. And just like I said, they put a lot of things up in the dorms about what's going on campus, and, you know, that's basically what I think about it.
Yeah, that's my biggest love for the dorms, is me being a football player. You know, all us football players were in one dorm. And, you know, it's like I say, if you don't have nothing to do, you could always just go sit out in the lounge, sit on the steps in front of the dorm. And that's what we do a lot of. We just sit on the steps in front of the dorm. We just hang out and talk and have fun. And I believe if you stayed off campus, that'll be something you're missing out on. You know, running around the dorms, acting crazy, acting silly, doing things that college kids do. That's what you'll miss out on if you wasn't staying in the dorm.
Now, I know staying in the dorms, you have your little free meal plan. What do you think that they could do to improve the cafeteria? I know they've added the new little kind of like a convenience store in the Bruce Center. What do you think they could do to help improve the cafeteria or the food situation?
Well, me personally, I don't know. I'm very nitpicky about what I eat. I guess because I've lived at home and my mom can really cook, so I gotta understand. When I came to college, it was so hard, because if it's something I don't want to eat, I won't eat it. But I've noticed with football players, because they always sit at the same table, they always say, "This is a calf. You don't have to like it. You know, you just got to eat it." But it's just so hard for me. I eat cereal more than anybody. I think cereal, salad, and French fries is my main thing. And I just think that they should improve. They should have a bigger variety. We have the same thing all the time. They should have a bigger variety of the food, and just, you know, more things for us to choose from. And like I said, they're building new things, but if they're trying to get new students, they should expand the cafeteria also, and expand the food, the menu. That's what I think.
Like Shawna said, with football players, we learn not to eat for taste, we eat to survive. So, you know, eating the cafeteria day in and day out for 4 years, I come to expect it. You know, when we do have something good, you ought to see everybody in the caf. It's, hey, we having steak tonight, you know, but like Shawna said, expanding the menu. It seems like we have the same thing, you know, every week. Expand the menu. People come in from different places to eat in the cafeteria. You know, that's a big choice in whether I'm gonna come to the school or not. What do they have for me to eat? What are they gonna offer me? And you know, if you're trying to sell your campus, you know, help expand the cafeteria. They're building a new rental center, make the food better too. You know.
Everybody doesn't like casserole.
Yeah.
That's true.
All right. Well, thank you, Larnelle. Thank you, Shawna, for joining us, and thanks for tuning in to this edition of the SAU Report. I'm Jennifer Stacy.
And I'm Kathleen Langston.